You are now listening to the What Now with Jae Podcast, turning the past into a present filled with opportunity, with your host, Jae.
Welcome to What Now with Jae Podcast, Episode 8. I am your host, Jae, author, educator, and world traveler. On today's episode, I would like to talk about healing, and to be more specific, healing from a toxic relationship, or just the healing journey in general. With so many discussions about healing recently, I wanted to explore the many different reasons why healing from a toxic relationship is so important. There are many different reasons why we all want to heal from toxic relationships. When we think of toxic relationships, a lot of us, we assume that they're romantic relationships, but that's not always the case. A toxic relationship could be just within your family, something you're dealing with. It's not the everyday norm. You go through so much with your family, and some of those relationships can be very toxic. You can go through toxic relationships with your friends. Personally, I experienced a toxic relationship in the form of narcissistic abuse. Going through that healing process was not easy. It is something that can be quite difficult. It can be hard, you name it, but it is vital in order to move on with your life in a productive way. So let's just talk about what the healing journey looks like. Healing from a toxic relationship looks different for each individual. I can speak from my personal experiences and say that initially, the pain that we feel, or the pain that I felt, was something that's hard to describe. It is something that you think will never go away. Regardless of what you do, you feel as if there is no hope. You actually feel like you don't want to do anything other than just stay in that pain. Regardless of what anyone say, a lot of people like to say, oh, just move on with your life, get over it. We all go through pain. It is different for all of us. Therefore, it is extremely important for you to heal or try to heal at your own pace. We all have to take the necessary time, however long, to just go through those emotions, feel them. You can't avoid those feelings that you're going through because eventually they will reappear. You have to start that healing process all over again. What I can say is that you have to grow through that pain. You may not want to eat, sleep. Sometimes it's hard to even get up out of your bed. But little by little, you do some of the everyday things that you once used to do. They do say that time heals all wounds. It may not be the same for everyone. One person could get over their hurt or their trauma rather quickly, and then for others it may take weeks or even months. But any progress is good. Give yourself time to heal. When healing or going through certain traumas, especially a romantic one, it is usually hard for the person hurting to be alone. They think that it is best to just get back with the person or start seeing someone new, which isn't usually a good thing to do. Because whenever you are going through a hurt, you need to honestly just feel that hurt and just stay in that pain. Trying to start a new relationship or just seeing someone else is not a way of easing that pain. In all honesty, I think it's quite the opposite. It is basically just a temporary fix and you still are feeling the same way. Take that time needed, or I should say embrace those feelings. And it will always be hard. It will be difficult. Anything worth having is not easy. I know at the time when you're going through it, you don't want to think about those things, but you have to stay in those pain, stay in that feeling, or let those feelings penetrate through the entire part of your body. And honestly, little by little, you'll start feeling better. Healing is in fact a journey that will take you through the highs and lows of your life. You find yourself being doubtful about almost everything. Sometimes we feel as if we're moving backwards because you start thinking about the person or whatever the situation was. In some cases, it's not all about the romantic relationships. We go through traumas for different reasons, but it is okay to just take that necessary time, because dealing with trauma, it's almost like such a grieving feeling that you feel like it will never go away. Healing yourself from whatever hurt you are going through should definitely start with you. Start thinking about you and those necessary things that you need to do. Believe in yourself, love on yourself. Look in the mirror and have those positive conversations with yourself. Another wonderful thing that was very useful to me was having those daily conversations with God. Honestly, I learned a long time ago that you can just sit and talk to God like you would talk to any of your friends. Yes, you may think that, oh, I'm talking to myself, especially if you're doing it out loud. But if you think about having that strong conversation with Him and just lay all your problems on Him, for most people, you get that sense of relief, and to know that you can just lay all your troubles, and especially just in details of everything that you're going through. You have to let go of whatever negative thoughts you may have about yourself in regards to what could or should have happened, or what you could have done in order not to have caused the trauma in the first place. When we heal, it's not that we forget the pain. A lot of times you hear, we all talk about healing and we think, okay, I'm healed. It just simply means that you are no longer focused on that. You will always remember the pain. Practice lots and lots of self-care, whatever it is that makes you happy and brings you peace. Think about talking to a coach or a counselor, someone that will listen to you and give you feedback and encourage you to go out there, take better care of yourself, use your time wisely, and not focus on whatever it is that hurt you or whatever trauma you went through in the first place. It is okay to go and sit with someone and talk to someone. The goal here is to heal and to be free from the anxiety, the tears, and all the flashbacks that you're experiencing. Another big thing to do, and it is extremely important, whatever it is that was hurting you or what caused the trauma, try to stay away from that. There is no point in going back to it, reliving it, opening old wounds, or any of that. Staying no contact, meaning staying away, blocking, avoiding the calls, whatever the case may be, just go no contact where you are healing, you're dealing with your pain. Also, I wanted to touch on, for those people that may be going through toxic relationships with their family members, just know that you can still love them from afar. Doesn't mean that, yes, we always, this relationship is not quite the way it should be. Most other family members are not going through this, and you find yourself comparing that, oh, your family does this, and oh, you should see the way we are as a family. We can barely get along. We can barely sit in a room together. You never know. Everything always looks good on the outside, but you never know what's going on within the people that you're comparing your situation with. Whatever the case may be, the people, your family members, your romantic partner, you can pass them in the street and it's not a problem. You don't get all riled up. You're not angry. You're not teared up. You're not crying every minute. You know that you're on the right track. You will feel as if I'm in a good place. And that is basically the ultimate feeling of knowing that this does not bother me anymore. I am very excited about this new segment where I get the opportunity to answer some of your questions. The question is, what is your best advice for someone wanting to heal from trauma or a traumatic experience? One of the best things to do, and I would say the first thing to do, always begin with, is by praying about it. Whatever the situation is, like I said, taking the time that you need, putting yourself first and working on your self-care, writing, journaling, all of those things are very helpful.
Have a question or just need advice? DM Montego_JAE for the chance to hear your question answered on an upcoming episode.
This is the part of the show where I leave you with a quote. Healing is an art. It takes time. It takes practice. It takes love. Maza Dota. Please feel free to inbox me or leave a comment or question on Instagram at Montego_J.